Alright everyone, here we are with another video with Invest for Tomorrow, and to all the first time viewers and investors, welcome to the channel, Invest for Tomorrow. To all the subscribers, welcome back, and we're going to jump into this video. We got some charts to look at, and we also have some information. So big news here when it comes to these stocks that I'm about to talk about, and there's so many different ones, but these two stand out. I've been tracking them and watching them, how ARK Invest reacts to them, and I will never forget when I saw the first day that they bought this one. This one, Longview Acquisition Corp, is actually supposed to merge with obviously Butterfly, and if you guys don't know much about it, I do have a full video on that. I'll put in the link down below, but just to give you guys an overview, it's going to disrupt the way that ultrasounds are done, and it's a handheld product backed by the Gates Foundation, by Bill Gates and Melinda Gates. According to some articles, they have a large amount invested into this company to continue to allow it to innovate and further enhance its product. But its product already produces a pretty well quality value of what it does, of what it's supposed to do. And it's a handheld product, and you can connect it to your phone and you can do an ultrasound on the go, literally. All you need is a phone and that device, and putting them together transmits the images and so forth. So it's going to make a disruption in the medical field. I don't think it's going to affect ultrasounds that are already being done. It could take a portion of the market of ultrasounds that are being done inside facilities, because this ultrasound device can only go so far, but it's going to be able to bring a better bedside type of service with bringing this over, and people don't have to go to another room or something. It could be brought to them, right? The ultrasound can come to them. And not only that, this can be used more in rural areas. It's not just populated areas, but unpopulated areas, rural areas where there's not much city transit and so forth. This product will be able to reach out to those places that they have to drive so far away to go to a hospital. So it's an innovation that's not going to disrupt the market share of ultrasounds, but it is going to change the way ultrasounds are done. Now, their picture quality, I did some research, it's not as good as the ones being done in facilities, but this is the beginning, and I could see this product making a sharper or just as good image as the ones being done in facilities and locations, right? Like hospital buildings, or a team of MRI techs and stuff, and ultrasound techs and all that stuff being done at urgent cares and different locations. For now, they have those machines there, but this is going to change it all up. And at some point, this might become the way ultrasounds are done, like just a rule of thumb and the general purpose. So it's going to disrupt it over time, but right now, it still has some things to tweak, but it's giving enough to be able to provide the service in rural areas and bring the ultrasound to the patient instead of taking the patient to the ultrasound, which is a good thing, and it could probably be more accessible. And it's a handheld device that doctors right there on the bedside and specialists can kind of just see things right away, like whatever they need to kind of look over, and they can just carry it with them, and then whatever it is that they need to do, they'll do. So if they need further testing or something, they'll send obviously the patient. So this is just an extra step, or a step before sending a patient out to an ultrasound without needing one. It kind of does a little of midway point of allowing more ultrasounds to be done in-house or in office. And if things look like they need to proceed, then they'll go to the ultrasound facilities, and an ultrasound tech specialist will go over all those images, and formulate those images by doing the ultrasound process. But it's pretty amazing, and it's also cost effective compared to other machines. I think it's like in the $2,000s or $3,000, and that's going to disrupt the market as well, the price point. But I can see this growing and innovating in its quality of the product right now, and becoming even more sharper images, and just the innovation is going to continue from this point forward. And it's so crazy to think it's going to become so accessible. So let's see here. So we have here Longview Acquisition Corp. And they were already at 871,209 shares at a market value of about 13 million on the 11th of December. Now, this actually went ahead and started in November to grow, right? It started to take off from that point forward. So we saw this way back July all the way leading to November. In November, it started to have explosive growth. I think around the end of November, almost starting December, is where ARK Invest takes their first position of almost 400,000 shares. And you could see they already multiplied it by 2 by like the middle of December. Here we are leading into the end of December, and the stock, it hasn't done anything crazy. It fell down to $13, came back up to 16, fell back down to 14, and it just ran up to newer highs today, reaching 18 and some change, and it's looking like it's taking off. I actually want to read more news on that, but right now I'm more focused on just letting you guys know what ARK Invest has been buying, and they've been getting their positions to grow, very steadily, and they're on their way to probably buying more, and these mergers and acquisitions are bound to happen. That's the other thing. Now, the other one's not a merger. The other one's actually a company that's already just, exploding because of its innovation, which I found interesting as well. So let's look here at how much Longview has grown in their portfolio. So it went from 400,000 to 800,000, and we're right now at 1,328,607 shares. So they went up by almost another 400 to 500,000 shares. I don't see them stopping here. I think they're taking it easy on this because they just want to make sure the merger happens. It seems like it's not promised yet, but that it's coming. And I think that once that is official, they're going to continue to load up on shares. And the market value now is 22 million. When we look at the previous market value, it was literally 13 million. It's almost multiplied by 2, and they've also almost multiplied their total shares by 2. They need 300,000 more shares, and they've multiplied their previous amount by 2 from the 11th, and this is 22nd today. Now, I find it interesting. This company, Longview Acquisition, is honestly a play that you want to do long term, and there's great growth potential. We have to see the revenue and how many people start buying into it and how this product actually starts to work. So far, it's on the market and people say good things about it. I've seen good reviews about it. I've seen a lot of different things, but we want to see the long term, and it's in the UK. I don't think this has reached out to America yet, but the one thing is that it is going to be worldwide at some point, and its most important part is that it's going to reach rural areas. So I find it something that is interesting, and one of the best things that you always want to think about when you invest in a stock, especially a tech stock and medical, is how is it going to help? And this is going to help tremendously in so many different areas and ways. So there's a lot of room here for this one. Now, the other one is Aqua Bounty Technologies. Now, Aqua Bounty Technologies was down, back here at $1 and some change. It ran up, fell back down to 2 and some change. Then it hit around that $3 to $4 mark. And from that point forward, this has skyrocketed and hit newer highs. The innovation of this company is tremendous. Something to do with water, pH or levels of some type of acidity or alkalineness. I'm not too sure, but it's something to do with the water of fish that we process and eat. So this is a big deal. Whatever that technology is, it's supposedly making the water cleaner, making the fish more cleaner and the fish more healthier, which then means it's better food. So Aqua Bounty, anybody that has more research than me on this, which I want to do some research on, you're more than welcome to share down below or kind of correct me if I'm wrong or agree with me if I'm right. But I look forward to seeing what your guys' thoughts are down below on this one, and if I'm in the right track or understanding that Aqua Bounty has something to do with the water of fish, salmon, and so forth, and like something to do with the pH levels or something to do with the fish itself, that it's more clean environment, more clean fish, something like that. I'm not too sure, but this is innovative, and this is going to be a big deal because food is a big deal, and the quality of food is an even bigger deal, especially with how much contaminated water there is out there. It's kind of scary to think that there's not much uncontaminated water out in the world, and there's more water than land in the world, and we've been able to manage to contaminate most of the water around the world. It's a pretty big thought right there to think about. But the fact that AquaBounty is doing something that is innovative and going to make cleaner food, cleaner water for the fish, I believe that's what it is, and that's the innovation. It's going to be a big deal. Let me kind of read down here and see what it does. It engages in the provision of land-based aquaculture services. It includes farming aquatic organism. It focuses on salmon product and bioengineered Atlantic salmon that can grow to market size faster than conventional farmed. And the company has found so it's genetically engineered food, but they did something with the water. There's something with the water that basically is a big deal. So interesting. This is a market that a lot of people discreetly don't realize that quietly this is something that everyone buys at some point in the month, and a lot of restaurants buy and sell. So this is something to keep in mind. Food is a big deal, and innovation on the way food is processed and done is a big deal. So I noticed here on the 11th that AquaBounty, they have a lot of shares actually. Their total amount is 6,515,846 at a 47 million total market value. And as you saw earlier, I had both of them highlighted here, and that total market value almost multiplied by 2 already. It's at $76,520,508.10, and they went up almost $1 million as well, or more than $1 million if you go back. Yeah, they made more than $1 million here of shares. They went up 1,300,000 basically. So they're at 7,856,315 shares now, and it moved up in the list. And this list has some big players here, and the fact that it went from the 40s to the 76, and I could see this reaching the hundreds. There's some big players here that it has to compete with to continue to rank up, but I could see this making it up there, and it's top 15 or at least top 20 worst case scenario. So I look forward to seeing what's going to happen with AquaBounty. I just find it interesting that they continue to make such large purchases on this one and getting much more shares, and Longview has multiplied literally by 3 since they started buying it, and I think they're going to continue as the merger date comes sooner, and as they feel more comfortable that there's not that uncertainty and volatility, and if anything, this is just on its way up now to hit newer highs and new resistance levels. So I think that's one of their true goals here with Longview. Now, they certainly have bought recently, and that's a good sign too, and I want to watch and see if they continue to buy. I hope you guys found this video helpful and informative, and do you guys research, do your due diligence, go deeper, dig deeper than what I'm talking about here, and check out for yourselves. I think these two companies have potential. I look forward to seeing your guys' comments, and anybody that has anything they want to reiterate on top of what I say, piggyback off of what I say, or correct me, you're more than welcome to write down below in the comments section. And if you're a first-time viewer, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to click on the bell to not miss a single video that I post. Share this with your friends and community, and don't forget to hit that like button to let me know you watched this video. These are two companies I've been watching them discreetly add on to their position. I find it interesting, and it's always good to see what they're thinking, because it's not just one investor, it's a collective group of analysts and investors making these decisions, and there's a reason behind it, as I always say. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.